Okay, welcome back to another episode of Cooking Mr. Dan. So today we're gonna, because it's a dreary day in Florida, overcast, muggy, misting, and Penny's on vacation. So we're gonna make some munchies for brunch. But it's called Joe's Special. It's a scrambled egg recipe, if you will, but it dates back to the 1920s when nobody could afford to eat. He had a diner and blah, blah, blah. So it's got a couple ingredients, and I think you'll find it interesting. And let's get down to it, because we got the munchies for the brunchies. Okay. Okay, so here I'm heating up my pan. There's some oil I'm going to use. I got some jalapenos. That's not in the recipe, but you know me. This is some mushrooms that I have. Garlic is in there. This is ground beef we're going to cook. Some spinach back there. I got 3 eggs. I already diced up my onions. And there's my coffee to keep us going. I just got back from Walmart. But anyway. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so the pan feels hot. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's got the shimmer to it, so it's ready to take it. So we're gonna do this. Now, the way they say to do it is to basically cook everything together. But you know me, I want to cook all the hamburger and get all that grease everywhere. So we're gonna do this first. Lower this just a tad. But yeah, I found this recipe was on one of the things I was watching. So I looked it up. I wanted to see exact ingredients. And they have, the basic recipe is what I have here minus the diced jalapeno. But everything else that I have on here is pretty much what it is. And then one said he didn't serve mushrooms all the time, only if he had them. And I guess according to the thing, Wikipedia or whatever I was reading, they were hard to come by. I said, okay, all right. So anyway, here we are. And so, the story goes. Well, while we're waiting for these, I'm gonna go ahead and beat up a couple eggs. Because this recipe calls for them to be scrambled up, so got a little egg white on my countertop here. Let's get that off of there. Okay, last egg going in. All right, we got the onions going here, and they are pretty much to the opaque stage, just nice and soft. So what we're going to do here is we're going to throw in a little bit of garlic. Just a little, we don't want to go crazy. That was about maybe a teaspoon. Stir that around. See how those onions are getting nice and little brown? I like that. No, that's not really caramelized. Caramelized onions take you a while. Takes like a half hour to truly caramelize the onions, but anyway, this is good enough. It's working. Okay. And then we're gonna toss in our spinach. This was frozen spinach. You can use fresh. Make it work. Do what you got. Then we're gonna rinse this spoon off. Then what we're gonna do, get some of our mushies in here. I'm not gonna do too many of those. I cooked these the other day. They showed doing raw and cooking them with the meat and all. I ain't doing that. Here we're gonna toss in some jalapenos, maybe a teaspoon, maybe. Remember, that's just for flavor. They're not hot. I don't know. Ask Penny, she'll tell you. Okay. So that really doesn't look too bad if you can actually see. At this stage of the game, I'm just doing this to warm everything through now. And then the next thing we're going to do is the meat. And the meat and the eggs is the only two left now. The original recipe also, they call for, they serve it with sourdough bread, which I don't have. Penny and I don't really do the bread thing. So, that being said, just so as you know, all right, we're taking this off. It's heated through pretty much, but then we're going to toss in our meat. Now the recipe I'm giving that I wrote up was for like one person, a quarter, maybe two, probably two people. Quarter pound of ground beef. You can use sausage if you like, turkey, but I'm just trying to stick with the original recipe that it was doing. So now this is our mix of meat. It's about 90% lean. That's why we're going to watch it so it don't burn. And then we're going to be off to the races here. In case you missed it, I just sprinkled some salt on there, finished whisking up my eggs. All right. Now the meat's getting close. But anyway, this, I was reading up about this recipe that supposedly it was cheap that he felt bad for people that couldn't afford to eat. This was like during the 20s. And they still serve it supposedly somewhere in San Francisco. There's quite a few little diners that still serve this called Joe's Special, but I'm sure it doesn't cost what it cost way back when. And I've seen a few people on the internet doing the same recipe, and some of them add way more stuff to it. I'm trying to stick, like I said, with the original. So, that being said, we'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to drain off the excess fat. That's even at 90%, and it's still got a bunch of fatty juice in the bottom. I don't want to eat all that nonsense, so. So we'll just pour this out into the sink, right down the drain. I know, there's going to be people out there, oh, that's where the flavor is. Yeah, well, take your flavor and take a hike. I don't like all that fat. Penny will tell you, I cut fat off everything. Chicken, you know, if the fish had fat, I'd cut it off there too. I just cut the skin off there. Okay, so I'm dumping this in my bowl because now we're going to go to the infamous egg. There's still a little bit of drippings in there, so I'm going to leave those for when I cook the egg. Let's just mix up the rest of this, huh? Oh boy, that made some noise on my ears, huh? Okay. All right, we're just about there. Now I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on these eggs. I don't want to cook them too dry, so we're not going to go schizo on them or whatever. Yeah, I made a new batch of my salt and pepper mix, see? I loaded it up. Had to, I was down to the bottom of the container. I use that a lot. It's a lot convenient, so you don't have to keep, you know, one shake this and shake that. Nice, huh? Yep, but it's another dreary day in good old sunny Florida. And that's all right, we need the rain. Besides of that, I don't have to water my grass with my water, so that saves us money. Everybody likes to save money, right? Okay. You see how we got this going here, huh? Just about there, ladies and gentlemen, just about there. Whew. Now, you know, you can probably put, I was thinking about that, you know, but I didn't want to steer too far from the recipe, like I said. But you can put multicolored bell peppers in here. That would make it look really sharp. But we want to make sure it's tasting good. I want to see what this looks like when it's done. Because it looks like in the pictures I've seen, like a, might as well call it a scrambled mess. But it's, well, when this guy used to make it, he used to do like a half a dozen eggs and that at a time, a whole pound of ground beef, 8-ounce container of mushrooms, blah, blah, blah. But he was feeding, you know, a fair amount of people out of that, I guess. But we'll see. It's going to taste good. Everything that's in here I like eating. Penny likes it, so we don't eat ground beef that often, so trying to stay away from that red meat thing, you know. All right. So now what we're going to do is dump all this back in there. And then we're going to mix all of this around until it's thoroughly incorporated and looks nice. And then we'll plate it up. This is what I mean by it's, you know, when you see the pictures, it's like, whoa, dude. But this is looking just like it did in the, you know, they said you can cook it all in one pan, but like I would have done that, except, and I don't like the, like I said, the fat from the ground beef. And they were saying this is a great anytime meal. I wouldn't doubt it. All right. So I'm going to get a little, one thing I will do is I'm going to top this with a little sprinkled cheese right before we eat. So there you have it, my friends. Give you a bird's eye view, and then we'll plate it up, and I'll show you that. All right. Let me give you a bird's eye. There you have it. Joe's Special, ladies and gentlemen, Monday through Friday. Not on the weekend, only kidding. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're at the taste test table, and there it is. Joe's special. Thank you, Joe. Okay, let's see how it works. Now we're going to take a bite, and I'm going to take a bite before I put my cheese on there. I want to just see. Come on now. Hey, get up there. Wow. Yep, that's a good mix. Tastes good. The flavor's there. Actually, for ground beef, I didn't do nothing to really. I got a nice flavor. Put some onion powder in there if you like, but I want a real onion, so. Delicious. Now, give a little squirt of hot sauce here, because Penny said I'd need some. So, now we're going to take a bite of that. Don't know what it is, but the flavors really blend well together. The spinach, mushrooms, the onions, garlic. The ground beef is, I really thought it was going to be kind of plain, you know, because I just salt and pepper, that's all I put on it. Okay. So they had a good breakfast, a good dinner, a good lunch, because they say you can eat it for any meal back in the 1920s, 30s, and whatever. So we'll say thanks, Joe. Almost telling me let's get to it, so I am. Okay, when you're out and about, cover up, protect yourself as well as others. When you're out and about, wash your hands in the car, wash, put that sanitizer. When you're at home, wash your hands all the time, touch doorknobs, whatever you touch, just wash your hands. And don't talk with your mouth full unless it's another plate of Joe's special. Good. It's delicious. So my friends, give us a like, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't yet. When you do, the notification bell will pop in there. You hit that, and that way you'll get notified each and every time that I make a new recipe. And as always, stay hungry, my friends. This is Mr. Dan. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this brunch, and we're out.